We're all going to watch Magnolia together at the same time, and we will figure it out, and we'll be able to, talk it through. And everyone will see what I see, which is that being anyone's favorite movie is the most insane take of all time. It's your worst take. In 3.5 years, it's your worst take on this show.
Oh, it's been much worse takes.
No!
Giants to win the division last year.
Najee Harris, Michael Thomas. Yeah.
Michael Thomas.
Remember the Michael Thomas?
That was a good era. That was a really good era. Where people were tweeting at you every week about it.
Yeah.
That's kind of how you got off to a big start with the show.
Dad at my daughter's preschool come up to me and put his hand up. Michael Thomas. I don't know who you are.
That's right.
And I don't want to.
That's how America got to know you. Yeah. That's how they first fell in love with you, Jay.
Unbelievable.
Fantasy Football Happy Hour with Matthew Berry.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Happy Hour. Connor Rogers, Matthew Berry, Jay Croucher.
No Michael Thomas.
No Michael Thomas. That was a great era, though.
I mean, he's probably watching, just in solidarity. I don't think he's doing much else.
You guys know how his Twitter handle was Can't Guard Mike?
Yeah.
He removed the T. So it's Can Guard Mike.
Can Guard Mike, right?
Yeah, you can stay in front of him.
Yeah.
There's no separation.
Can watch Mike from his couch. Anyway, we love Michael Thomas here.
Doesn't sound like it.
Well,
I do. You guys didn't.
Yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year, 2019.
You just called him Ken Guard Mike.
Yeah.
It's the most disrespectful thing you could say about a receiver.
2019 holds the record for most receptions in the NFL season.
We still love him. I met him once. He was a lovely person.
Was he?
It's
good
took
to
a
hear.
picture with me, for sure.
Okay.
But just we didn't like the take that you had, that he had significant fantasy value that year when he had missed.
He was cooking.
There was a brief moment. I think in one game he had like 7 targets or something. I was like, wow, I might be right on this. And then he was out of the league 3 weeks later.
People were tweeting at you. Jay was right all along.
Yeah.
It is a Wednesday. It is a backup producer Pete day, which means it's a blind date day. Yes, America's favorite segment will return. Back to the Futures. We've got a couple good ones cooking up for you, but before we do any of that.
Are you surprised? There's a lack of Magnolia planned for today's show. I just would have thought with a backup producer, Pete
doesn't
It's
see
just
that.
all movies, all cinema.
Yeah.
He claims to be a cultured man of America. He's never seen Magnolia.
What are you talking? Pete does not claim to be a cultured man.
Yeah, no.
I
He
mean,
has illusions of culture.
No, stop it. There's all sorts of things that you can lob at backup producer Pete, but being cultured is not one of them. And I would argue that
he went on exchange
that backup producer Pete would agree with me.
He went on exchange in Madrid. He's a man of the world.
Speak
Spanish.
I've worked with him for 3.5 years. I have literally never seen him wearing anything other than a Giants or Mets baseball hat.
That's right.
I've literally never. I don't know
and
what
a plaid
his hair
shirt and a
looks
vest.
like. Yes.
Yeah, I respect how the consistency with him.
Oh, 1,000%. He's got a uniform.
Right, he has a work uniform. 100%.
There's actually no top of his skull. I don't know if you guys know this. He doesn't have a top of his skull.
I wouldn't know. He always has the Giants or Mets hat on.
He has a Giants or Mets hat always, constantly. But the idea that you think that person is cultured is ridiculous.
Which, by the way, no surprise, the top of our rundown today is Giants related. But before we do get there, some breaking news right before the show.
Sir.
That's not very fun. Marvin Harrison, appendicitis surgery, so he is out indefinitely now. Obviously, this one came out of nowhere, and it's been a little bit of a resurgence for Marv with Jacoby Brissett under center. As you see Adam Schefter here saying he underwent surgery for appendicitis and is out for at least this week and possibly longer.
Yeah, tough blow for the Cardinals, obviously, and for Marvin Harrison, who'd started to really find his footing with Jacoby Brissett under center. So this is a tough one here. I mean, look, I think what's the largest target share tight ends ever gotten in NFL history?
We're about to find out.
I was going to say Michael Thomas, his single-season receptions record might be under threat from Trey McBride because he's going to get 20 targets a game.
Easily. So massive target share coming for Trey McBride. I would think Michael Wilson is the next man up. He's the guy that's been playing on the outside opposite Marv in 2 wide receiver sets. You'll see some Greg Dortch and Zay Jones in the slot, and you elevate their expectations. I think I prefer Dortch to Zay Jones just because the human Dortch. Well, we've
Speaking
seen
of blast from the past.
Right, there you go. My Michael Thomas, Greg Dortch. I did say on this show at one point, Greg Dortch will be a thing. Never wrong, just early.
Just a little early.
It still hasn't hit yet.
Couple of years. This is the week against Dallas.
Maybe maybe. But I would rank them. The Arizona pass catchers after McBride, I would rank them Wilson, Dortch, Zay Jones. I do think, given the matchup with the Cowboys, I do think and the competence of Jacoby Brissett, I do think Michael Wilson has some, wide receiver 3-ish value.
By the way, some more news here. It is a torn Achilles for Zay Jones.
Oh, wow.
Adam Schefter just tweeted literally 5 seconds ago, over the Marvin Harrison news. In other Arizona wide receiver news, Cardinals wide receiver Zay Jones tore his Achilles last Sunday versus the Seahawks.
Well,
I knew he was hurt, but I didn't know it was officially a torn.
By the way, I doubled down on my Greg Dortch over Zay Jones take then from 30 seconds ago.
He's now wide receiver 2 in the offense immediately.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe it is the human Dortch. Maybe it is time.
If there was ever a week, you have the Dallas secondary and the human Dortch at wide receiver 2.
The Niners secondary.
Yeah.
Niners, not Dallas.
Sorry, yeah. The Niners secondary. Yeah, kind of threw me off with that. But either way.
Which is also very injured.
Yes, very injured, very passable against. I could see some Amari DiMarcardo as well getting in there, but I do think Wilson becomes interesting this week. I will just say that.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver 1 for a competent NFL offense that has
a good matchup.
Yeah, a very favorable matchup. We saw the Niners, they just don't have any players left. There's no hope left really on that defense. And so the total's 48.5, and he's going to be a wide receiver 1 in a game that is expected to have almost 50 points.
And he did have 7 targets last week, Michael Wilson. Yeah. I didn't do a ton with them, but he had 7 targets. It's only going to go up.
I have always liked him out of college.
Yeah.
I've always felt like if he could, he hasn't been super consistent. Of course, neither has the quarterback play, but and there have been other players that demand targets more than him, but I've always felt like every once in a while you'll see him make a really good play. I liked him out of college.
Yep.
I think
he's not flashy, which is why he doesn't get that same love. But
no. By the way, this doesn't mean anything for fantasy, but just for what it's worth, my NFLPA rookie premiere, I do interviews with 50 rookies every single year. And so probably over the years I've interviewed 300, 350 rookies, something like that. I've gone to it 6 or 7 years. Michael Wilson, one of my top 10 interviews.
Everybody loves him. Everyone loves him.
Awesome kid. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, just whatever. So an easy guy to root for is what I'm. So I'm hoping that
they'll sign someone. I don't know who the best free agent wide receiver. Is Deontay Johnson going to be on this team in a couple of weeks? Is Michael Gallup is still out there or something? DJ Chalk.
Unfortunately, Robbie Chosen has been taken.
Yes.
He'd be the name, but he's in Washington with my Commanders. He has been
chosen. He's been selected.
And in fact, maybe Marvin Harrison Sr.
I know he said he would have to give back his gold jacket if he played in this offense.
But there's no Kyler anymore, so there you go.
It felt very Drew Petzing.
Yeah.
Here's producer Steven in the chat.
Unbelievable.
By the way,
go spend some
what's
time
up with the avatar? Just a P for producer. Looking forward to watching McBride go nuclear against Barry in our League of Assholes matchup this week.
I am playing. This is, of course, how it always happens for me.
Yeah.
Most points against in our league. It's true. I'm playing producer Steven. Trey McBride going to
not be a true
put a 50 burger on me. It is true. I'm definitely most points against.
To be also fair, you two had the most pathetic matchup of the week.
You're
last week.
second last in points for.
Yes, but
it was like 111 to 109.
No, I feel in the season.
For the season, yeah.
You're 3-7 and you're overachieving. You have the point differential of a 2-8 team.
I'm coaching them up. Yeah, I'm like a Mike Vrabel over here. Yeah. I'm the Mike Vrabel of fantasy. I'm the Shane Steichen of fantasy. I'm doing
our research team is grinding the numbers. You are 4th in points against.
So you've lied by 3 spots.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you exactly why that is. Because of this asshole. You had the lowest points last week. Prior to last week, I had the most points against, and then you show up with a 109.
Might also
Thank God, because I only had the second highest points. I mean, you're the only team I could have beaten last week.
Yeah, apparently Jackson Smith and Jigba only plays 1 quarter these days. Unbelievable.
Doesn't need to.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to. Yeah. Anyway, I agree. Trey McBride's going to have a huge game. I do think Michael Wilson is interesting in this one as well. Tough break for Zay Jones. Obviously, we're just finding that out live. They'll sign somebody, I'm sure, but it goes Wilson and Dortch after McBride.
Aloha Brick says, Barry, you're the Aaron Glenn of fantasy.
Wow.
That's tough.
I hope you make the playoffs.
You're better with the media.
First off, I won 3 straight, and F you, Aloha Bricks, because you know what? My quarterbacks this week are Drake May and Matthew Stafford. I've named my starting quarterbacks.
I have no problem, runners for MVP.
Yeah, the producer Steven, I have no problem with you knowing who my starting quarterbacks are. I'm just announcing it right now.
Who's your backup?
What, my backup?
It was Jaden Daniels.
It was Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
I picked him up out of spite. I didn't even need him.
No, I understand.
You might after last week.
Jaden Daniels was my first-round pick. My second-round pick it's a 2-quarterback league. It's Superflex league, obviously. So Jaden Daniels was pick. I had pick 3. Jaden Daniels was 1. Henry was 2, Chase Brown was 3, Mike Evans was 4. So, I mean, that explains why my season has gone the way it has.
Fine. Derrick Henry's going to come home like a steam train.
Derrick Henry was bad for the first 5 games. Chase Brown and Derrick Henry were both pretty bad for the first 5-6 weeks of the season. So,
speaking of running backs, more breaking news.
Oh, really?
And this is big news. Greg Allman, who does a great job covering the Tampa Bay Bucks, said big news from Bucks practice. Bucky Irving is participating for the first time since September. It's just a walkthrough, but a long-awaited return.
Okay.
And he has
Bucky
a blurry
Irving
pic
sighting.
of Bucky.
He's alive.
My expectation as we sit here on a Wednesday is that long distance. This is from Rick Stroud. Long distance shot. So apologize, but
that's on a Moto Razor. Am I wrong?
No, that's a pretty good reference right there. Yeah, it might be right. Anyway, I don't think Bucky plays this week.
No, Todd Bowles didn't really. He was asked about this a couple of days ago and didn't make it seem like. But it's good to just see him out there doing anything, moving.
Yeah,
in a uniform.
Alive.
I mean, again, it's a walkthrough. But it's good. Again, maybe he plays this Sunday, but right now I'm not going to rank him. I'll still have Rachaad White as my number 1 Buccaneers running back. But it's a good sign to see that there's a Bucky Irving sighting.
Yeah.
Raise the Flag said, I think it's a Polaroid. I'm just picturing Rick Stroud at practice pulling out Polaroid shots.
Someone please Venmo Rick Stroud
Rick did not deserve
$900 for an iPhone.
Rick did not deserve this at the media is a mile away from where they are.
Yeah.
I will defend
Rick.
them.
Rick does a good job, too.
Another guy. Buckspeed is a powerhouse.
It really is.
A lot of legends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like long time covering the team.
Yeah, it's the chubby leather daddies of beats.
There was no 109-point performance from them last week.
Yeah. Maybe Rick Stroud's sick. I don't know.
All right, let's get into our actual Rotoworld Player news that was planned here because it keeps rolling in. Like I said, of course, backup producer Pete. We start with the New York Giants. A lot of chatter around if Jameis Winston would take over as the starter. He will, and a certain show discussed the ramifications of that yesterday. This one feels like, to me, if the Giants came out today or tomorrow and were like, we're going to give Jameis a look, I'd be like, maybe. With Russ, there's just better options.
Yeah, no, I agree. Fantasy-wise, real-life-wise, Jameis is just a lot more exciting. Jameis going up against Micah Parsons head-to-head.
And why not now?
Yeah, we've seen Russ. We've seen enough of Russ.
Why wouldn't you start Jameis, who the fan base loves, who everyone loves?
Yeah.
It doesn't. At this point, it doesn't matter. You're not going anywhere this year. So, why not give Jameis a start and just have some fun with it?
Yeah, maybe it gives a bump for the locker room.
Yeah.
That, Russ just doesn't have right now.
There you go. Thank you to interim coach Mike Kafka, who's clearly a big watcher of Fantasy Football Happy Hour. Just a little while after the three of us posited that, Jameis Winston officially named the starter or elevated to number 2 in the event that Jackson Dart can't go on Sunday. It will be Jameis Winston under center for the G-Men.
Dart's in concussion protocol, so a little bit of an assumption, but Jameis being elevated to the number 2, he's going to get the reps this week of the number 1, barring something miraculous and borderline dangerous with Jackson Dart at this point.
I'll tell you what a good indicator is that this is a good decision is that I bet on the Packers to win this game before this news was announced. And now I'm a little scared because it's just weird. Because we were going to beat Russell Wilson. No concerns there whatsoever.
Right.
Jameis is just a wild card. Who knows what he's going to do? He's probably going to lose the game with a pick thrown probably right into Micah Parsons.
A pick 6 needs to be like, I would bet that immediately right now.
You get
on
both.
The Packers side.
You get 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 1 goes back to the house.
100%. The news that Jameis Winston is in line to start for the Giants if Jackson Dart can't go just means excitement all over. You see the numbers here under Jameis and his starts last year with the Browns.
12 TD
right? And
Matthew Stafford's 25-2.
I understand. Jameis had the famous 30-30 season with the Buccaneers once, right? 30 touchances, 30 interceptions.
Which, by the way,
as well.
They need to do a documentary on.
30 seasons. Him and Juan Soto.
But it should be a 30 for 30 movie.
But that roller coaster of 12 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, almost 300 yards a game. That roller coaster that is the Jameis Winston experience is why today America.
That's right.
America drinks free. We got Jameis. We're so back. America drinks for free.
We all love it.
We all love it.
It's a watchable game.
Yeah. I feel like among football fans, Jameis Winston has a 100% approval rating.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, obviously, the post-game quotes, the pre-game huddles,
Yeah.
the in-game decisions, for
Yeah.
better or for worse.
Yeah, the pick six.
Yeah, I don't know if God watches Peacock at 12 p.m. on Wednesdays, but if you are watching God, please do not deliver Jameis from pick sixes because we need him. We need him like oxygen. It's great theater.
Said a man that's got a lot of money on the Packers this weekend. Now, again, fantasy-wise, look, Jameis is a little bit prone to throwing interceptions. You don't love the matchup with Green Bay.
Right.
They just held the Eagles to 10 points. Jameis, who is a bit turnover prone. So, I have him as a very low-end QB2, probably more of a QB3 this week. But look, last year, 17.4 fantasy points per game, averaged almost 300 yards. You see out there in the screen. There'll be some turnovers as well. But I do think, for those people that have, if you've invested in Wan'Dale Robinson, if you use him, if you're in a deep league, you're in desperate, Darius Slayton, because Jameis will sling it.
Yeah.
Jameis will absolutely sling it.
Yeah.
He's got that YOLO. He's got that Joe Flacco.
Yeah. Pocket pass, throw down the field.
No
type of
F's
player.
left to give.
No, none at all. If I throw an interception, I'll come back out and damn it, I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's eating W's. He's eating L's. It's great.
We got a
Bring
question.
back Tommy Cutlets.
This is the longest username by far we've ever seen on the show.
This was because there was a bit that Matthew did at one point. Regular Josh, a.k.a. casual Josh, until
that's
MB
right.
approves. You did like that stupid thing.
Well, I just thought because he's calling himself regular Josh, but he hasn't really shown up all that much.
Well, here he's putting more effort in.
That's right. I which appreciate. You're
Motivation
you're still casual Josh, but you're heading in the right direction. He asks, Tyler Warren is on a bye. Do you like Theo Johnson or Cade Otton here, Connor? Theo Johnson with you feel better about this Giants offense with Jameis Winston.
You do.
Cade Otton's been terrific lately. But by the way, Theo Johnson, since Jackson Dart took over as as quarterback, has been a top 10 tight end. We did that one yesterday.
I'd go with the floor, Cade Otton, personally. For me, I just feel like there's less variance with Theo. We saw good things with Jackson Dart, but once again, Green Bay's defense, that's a tough unit.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I'd rather go against Buffalo, even though Buffalo's got a decent, but you feel like there's more scoring opportunities. There's probably a higher, total game between the Buccaneers and the Bills. And you just, as much as we love Jameis and the fun of it, you'd rather catch passes from Baker Mayfield than Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I'd say Cade Otton's probably the favorite to be the second most targeted pass catcher in a game where Baker Mayfield's a 5.5-point dog with a total of 47.5. So, yeah, Cade Otton is the choice there.
Some more news, guys. The Broncos are considering placing J.K. Dobbins on IR with that foot injury.
Annoying.
It's super annoying because he's had such a good year and just injuries. He just cannot shake the injury bug. Yeah. J.K. Dobbins. R.J. Harvey, when he has gotten an opportunity, Connor, he has been productive among all qualified running backs. So they have to reach a certain minimum. But among all qualified running backs, he is the league leader in fantasy points per touch. Now, again, he's gotten, some kind of cheap touchdowns. He's gotten these,
red zone
passes.
Merchant.
Yeah,
weird role.
5 yards out, and he just keeps getting these dump offs. But a talented player, a guy that you liked almost as much as Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt.
That's right, and almost as much as Kyle Monangai as well. I just wonder if Sean Payton does Sean Payton things, and now it's Jaleel McLaughlin and Tyler Beatty.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we like R.J. Harvey's role. It's going to stay the same, but everybody else gets a little bit of a bump.
Yeah.
He's just a very hard coach to figure out with the backfield all the time. Hopefully, with the capital they used on Harvey, that it means more for him because there's more big playability with him.
Yeah, they're also playing the Chiefs and a 4-point dogs in that game, so you wouldn't expect amazing game script for a running back.
Yeah, I think Beatty is probably worth because Peyton likes to use multiple running backs. Like I picked up Beatty in a league. Producer Adam, who's even more desperate than I am in our league, he immediately scooped him up.
Good for Adam that he's still trying.
Right?
Yeah, it's good effort.
It is, 1,000%.
Could have just mailed it in.
Yeah. He could have.
It's like the Tyler Shuck Saints, still giving it a go out there.
Let's get Juwan Johnson numbers.
He's out there trying. Yeah. Anyway, but I think Beatty over McLaughlin, just because we sort of know what McLaughlin is, but Peyton does like to use multiple running backs. Ved FF Happy Hour regular says R.J. Harvey or Travion rest of the season. I think it's Travion.
Yeah, I think so too. The flashes you saw last week from Travion are like, "Ooh, man, this is what we were waiting for."
Also, the Patriots play like the Jets and the Dolphins every week.
Schedule's
like
a joke.
Insane.
It's a joke.
They have 2 tough games in sequence against the Bills and the Ravens later in the year, but outside of that, this team could easily go 13-4, 14-3. They'll have game script. Ramondre's coming back, looks like, and it's going to be annoying. Like he's going to get 14 carries and everyone's going to be upset. But Travion has got the big playability, and there's still upside that he could become the number one guy there.
And also, it's crazy to say this statement when you think about where we were at the beginning of the year, but I believe in the Patriots offense a lot more than the Broncos offense these days.
Oh, 100%.
No, I know, but just saying that in the preseason.
Yeah, it is kind of wild.
Yeah. I mean, you think about where
Drake
Bo Nix
May's
coming up, right?
Upside has hit, and the downside of Bo Nix has hit.
Correct.
So that's how we got here. But it is wild. It is a little wild.
Yeah.
Bo Nix, I mean, like 2-3 weeks away from like a Jarrett Stidham conversation. They have a worse success rate on offense this year than the Jets and the Saints. Like that's how bad it's been.
That seems almost impossible.
Yeah, he's not at the level at the moment, and their schedule gets a lot tougher as well.
Yeah, he's been carried by his defense in a way that Justin Fields has not.
That's right. That's right. The old special teams touchdowns as well for the Jets.
Again, Justin Fields played him almost to a draw. With a better
20
kicker.
yards for a field goal.
Yeah.
Anyway, our last bit of news for today, and it's more of a bummer. Jaguars wide receiver / cornerback Travis Hunter. He's going to be out for the entire season. Season-ending knee surgery to repair an LCL, not an ACL. He's expected to resume football activities in 6 months. This is a bummer, Jay, because we saw the best of Travis Hunter, and then this happened.
Yeah, the last time we saw him, he was getting 14 targets in London and catching his first touchdown pass, going over 100 yards. I think that he was really set up to explode in the second half of the season, so really disappointing that it comes to an end. Obviously, his season-long numbers not particularly impressive, but he was trending in the right direction. They were figuring out how to use him more on offense. So I still think Connor next year is a super exciting player in real life and in fantasy. But obviously, we'll have to wait until then.
You probably get a buy low opportunity next year. I don't think anybody will be that excited for Travis Hunter.
No.
And my last memory of him is like 100-yard wide receiver that should be the focal point of the offense.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I've seen a bunch of people online say, well, this is what happens when you try to play two ways at the highest level. You know what I mean?
Never in practice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, I get the overall point, but it doesn't feel like the right time to go to that correlation.
No, I agree with you there. Fantasy-wise, I mean, I think it means that, the Jacksonville passing offense is exactly what we sort of think. Is like you've got BTJ on the outside, assuming once he gets healthy, Parker Washington in the slot, and then Jacoby Myers on the other end as well. They'll probably move Myers in the slot somewhat, but again, Liam Cohen likes Parker Washington in the slot and has said he's going to remain in that role. So, again, just more Parker Washington propaganda.
Right, and eventually it'll be more Brenton Strange propaganda.
They've opened up the window on his return. Yep.
He's a really important player of that offense. All right, keep it open, close it out. It's our start sit here at the happy hour bar, and guess who we get to start with, guys? Broncos quarterback Bo Nix. When you thought we were talking about him enough on the show, we're not done yet. He's got the Chiefs, season low 5.8 points last week. He's quarterback what for you this week, Matthew?
He's quarterback 18 for me, Connor. So
adios to the starting lineup.
Since week 6, he's 30th in yards per pass attempt. We always talk about like he's a dink and dunker. Here's the only quarterbacks that he's ahead of in yards per pass attempt: J.J. McCarthy, Davis Mills, Justin Fields, Dylan Gabriel.
Ooh.
That's the list. That's the company he's currently keeping as well. You don't love this matchup against the Chiefs. Since week 2, the only quarterback that's thrown more than one touchdown pass against Kansas City was Jared Goff. And, over the last 8 games, they've allowed the second fewest they've allowed the fewest touchdown passes in the NFL, the Chiefs. And to your point, Jay, we talked about this yesterday. This is the Chiefs season. They're desperate. They're 2 games behind the Broncos. By the way, they're also off a bye. Andy Reid off of a bye, like throughout his career, is like money in the bank.
He's a wagon.
He is always really good off of the bye. I think the Broncos lose this one. I don't think it's particularly close. I think Mahomes goes off, and I ideally would have no part of Bo Nix in this one.
Quite an unholy trio you've got there, 18 to 20 in the ranks. Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, and Aaron Rodgers. So the vibes could not be worse about any of those guys at the moment. How good, Connor, do you think Kansas City's pass defense is? Because when they've gone up against good quarterbacks, they've gotten kind of shredded.
Right.
I don't really understand why, because they're healthy. But just they couldn't do anything against Josh Allen last time we saw them.
I don't think the pass rush is the same either.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like they have the depth at the pass rush that can often help this secondary.
Chris Jones is 31.
Yeah, he's not he's a good player, but he used to be an elite player. Yeah. It just feels like they need another guy on that front because it's never like they're overwhelmingly loaded with talent at the 5 defensive back spots. They always have like one guy and then a couple just replaceable players.
But when they get home, throws are hurried, and also their offense has usually been so good just over the last couple of years. I know last year it struggled a little bit, but over the last couple of years, their offense is so good. So now the opposing offense is now in constant game
That's
script,
right.
and it's easier when you're a defense and they're throwing every play. You can just sort of tee off on them, and you don't have to. There's less variables.
Yeah, they're very predictable. And Spagnuolo is still one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL.
Yeah. Jerry Tillery played like 34 snaps against the Bills. Which is like guys like Dana, Amena, who doesn't seem like the same guy after all his injuries. So, yeah, it's a little shaky, but the corners are still good and healthy.
Yep.
And Carl Laftis is good, and Chris Jones is still good. So I would think that Spags has enough weaponry to really put Bo Nix in the blender.
I think so, too.
If the Raiders were able to put Bo Nix in the blender. So, yeah, I don't think you start him this week.
No. So anyway, just to play along with a bit, we are officially closing it out on Bo Nix this week.
We go to the running backs, where Rachaad White is our first name against the Bills. 3 straight games with under 40 rushing yards. We talked about Bucky being back on the field for a walkthrough today. We don't expect him to play in this one. So can you try to ride it out one more week with Rachaad White here, Matthew?
I think so. Again, this is with the caveat that we're assuming Bucky Irving is not playing on Sunday. We will track that story throughout the week. But in his 5 starts so far this year, Rachaad White's averaging 16 touches a game. He's got a 12% target share. And it's not as bad a matchup against Buffalo as you might think. They allow the 3rd most yards per carry to opposing running backs. They're allowing the 3rd most rush yards per game to opposing running backs. So wanted to keep Josh Allen off the field. I do expect Todd Bowles and team to go with a run-heavy approach here on the road at Buffalo. So Rachaad White, I think, volume-wise gets you there. Mid-tier RB2 for me. You see it there on your screen. He's my running back 14. I am keeping it open for one more week on Rachaad White.
Buffalo has the number 30 ranked rush defense by EPA, and they just got absolutely torched by Devin Achane. So, yeah, it's in theory a favorable matchup, and the Bucs' run game has been a little haphazard this year. I think they certainly miss Liam Cohen and his scheming ability in the run game, and then also just the offensive line has not been that healthy, but fairly favorable matchup against Buffalo.
Yeah, Luke Gadecki coming back for this Bucs line.
Which helps a lot.
There's a lot of positive reasons around them. Our next running back is Kenneth Walker against the Rams. And, guys, it's time to talk about our jersey wall, because Kenneth Walker, who is on the wall, has not had a double-digit fantasy game points-wise since week 4.
He's right there. Yeah.
That's prime. That's over the shoulder of Matthew. That's good real estate.
That's my ride or die.
In this economy.
I don't know.
We swap him with Jonathan Taylor at worst.
I mean,
Jonathan Taylor's not visible.
Where is Jonathan Taylor?
He's far right.
Oh gosh. What? Yeah, that's ridiculous.
He's
right there above Derrick Henry, above me, above Jalen Hurts.
Above you. Yeah, we need to get you one lower.
It's fair.
Before we have the replacement options
but
for
if
Kenneth Walker.
Can I ask a question? Hang on for a second. Before we get to just in terms of the wall, what's the most valuable? Is the most valuable real estate like behind me? Is it the highest up? Is it proximity to me? Like, should Jonathan Taylor be closer to me than Breece Hall?
We cut to you a lot.
We do.
I think camera.
This is the most valuable real estate. So
right.
I think Ken Walker has the single most valuable spot.
I agree.
Yeah.
And he's
Hampton's my ride or die. Jaden Daniels stays there, obviously. Former ride or die Amon-Ra St. Brown. Proud fantasy life investor Jamar Chase. And then you've got Walker and Baker Mayfield there.
I'm okay with Baker staying for now.
I am too.
But Ken Walker's going to go.
Right. Well, so anyway, go ahead. What do you got?
Well, first we want to know if you're going to keep it open or close it out. Then I have the options of what the poll will include to replace Kenneth Walker for the regulars.
Right. So I'm closing it out on Ken Walker. I'm outside my top 40 I'm outside my top 25 this week, I should say. The reason I say top 40, outside top 40, since week 5, Ken Walker is running back 41 on a points per game basis. He's been single-digit fantasy points in all 5 games during that stretch. He's averaging under 1.5 targets a game. Like, they're not using him in the passing game as well. And the Rams are not a good matchup here. They allow the fewest fantasy points per game to opposing running backs. When they get in close, it seems like they like Zach Charbonnet. And as frustrating as this is, I don't think it changes, because why should it? They're crushing people. Darnold is finding Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's finding A.J. Barner and Elijah Arroyo. We're getting signs of life from Cooper Kupp every once in a while.
Wait till Rashid Shaheed gets comfortable.
Right. I mean, he needs to break a long one to get a touchdown. He's not using the passing game. It is a true split with Zach Charbonnet on a team that is much more pass-heavy than we thought they would be at the beginning of the year. He's my running back 28. I am closing it out on Ken Walker.
So, the poll options, and I understand the chat. The chat has been demanding we have a Jackson Smith and Jigba jersey. We will continue to work on that.
We're working on it.
It's not an option at the moment.
Yeah.
We will handle that.
Yeah, we're getting it.
Here's
we should just buy
Also,
one.
Puka Nacua as well.
Yeah. I got it. Yeah, that's on me.
It's good accountability.
Matty did bad.
I have a Rams. This came up on a call last week, and I said I know somebody at the Rams in their marketing department. I'll reach. And they've offered me a
We're going to
Puka.
just buy one.
That's true. I mean, the budget on this show is.
Interesting.
To be clear, the budget on this show is not. We don't have the biggest budget. I'll just leave it at that. Like,
You can buy one.
I could.
The budget team thrown under the bus. I love it.
Wow.
It's not the budget team.
Yeah,
the budget team is doing what they can. Just the budget is what the budget is. The bean counters, those bean counters at Comcast, come on.
Just picture Scrooge McDuck sitting there.
Exactly. He's got like he's got a green visor.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. We could spend money on the Olympics. Yeah, like they're just sitting there going, let me think.
that's
Look at
pretty
this.
fair.
We could spend money on the Olympics,
I would do
the
that.
NBA, Sunday Night Football, The Voice, or Fantasy Football Happy Hour. I think, in all fairness, I think Mr. Comcast made the right call.
Right.
I don't have a strong argument as to why they should spend any money on our dumb show when you think about all the properties that, they opened a new theme park, for the love of God. We got Epic Universe. They got 3 theme parks they got to support. They got a lot going on. Jay.
Sure. It's like, do we want to televise skiing in Milan or Puka Nacua jersey for the wall? Yes.
No. Yeah. Save the
Easy
$70.
choice. Easy choice. Yeah, it might be needed for the crew lunch.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyway, I said I would reach out and try to get us a Puka jersey, and I just haven't done that. So Puka's on me.
Yes.
JSN. We got to figure that out.
A lot of shaky names here. AJ Brown.
Yeah, exactly. Should Ken Walker stay over A.J. Brown? Should be the poll. What are we doing here?
Well, I didn't make the poll, so I'll throw Pete under the bus.
Yeah, of
Here's the
course.
options. Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Baker Mayfield, or Bijan Robinson are the 4 options to replace Kenneth Walker.
Any one of them.
I think there's
I think so. Here's the thing. So the idea is it's who should take Kenneth Walker's. Not should Kenneth Walker come off the wall, although that should be a different poll.
Nice
but
poll graphic.
But like again, who gets that prime real estate right there for Ken Walker? Should be Mahomes, Stafford, Mayfield, or Bijan. Stafford and Mayfield in the early voting. I mean, Mahomes is tough to argue with, although Stafford's been
Give
ridiculous.
me the MVP candidate in Matthew Stafford.
It probably should be Stafford.
We got to capitalize on the now.
Yeah.
Because you retired him yesterday, so he might not be here after this year. You said it's over after this.
I do think he's retiring. I legitimately do. I think he's going to retire.
Ridiculous conduct. You tried to retire Kelsey 2 years ago. He's putting men in the grave.
Right.
Matthew Stafford is like one of the Super Bowl favorites and the MVP favorite.
I know, right off into the
So he's
sunset.
got another 5 years in him.
He might throw 50 touchdowns and 4 picks.
Yeah.
He's
what he's on base for.
He's been phenomenal this year. He's been terrific.
I think Stafford should get the spot, but if he loses to Ken Walker this week and Ken Walker goes
man.
off, then we swap him back.
Well, we can swap him back. So I agree with you. I think it should probably be Stafford. So here's my question: Does Walker continue to get a spot on the wall? When you sit here and look at some of the other
No, it should
see,
be-
you got C.J. Stroud there. You got
should be
A.J. Brown. That's very good real estate for A.J. Brown.
We have a Ramondre Stevenson
That's
jersey.
perplexing.
Yeah, it's.
I say Ramondre, AJ Brown, Ken Walker out. In comes JSN, Puka Nacua, and anyone else for the third one.
Yeah.
Anyone.
And Michael Thomas.
We don't even have a
Najee
Saquon
Harris.
Barkley jersey. Yeah,
And we
Michael
have
Thomas.
We have a
I would like a
have-
little part of the wall that's a Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Like maybe 4 jerseys.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Marshall Faulk could be on there, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Oh, see, it's interesting. So you're saying like a Hall of Fame, like actually good players.
Or funny ones.
I think
That's
it should
what I
be
was.
more
That's
like
what
Gary
I was,
Barnage?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to say like Gary Barnage or like Michael Thomas or Najee
Thomas,
Harris for
Najee
you.
Harris.
Greg Dortch. Like if
Right,
you know,
right.
like just
Jalen Coker.
Yeah, Cokeheads Unite. Yeah, just
Jalen Coker being on there is ridiculous.
just having jerseys of people that have come up on the show that we like.
Jay.
What about also
Cedric
like,
Tillman is absolutely on the wall.
We should have 2. We should have home and away.
Yeah, there we go. What's the Browns' alternate these days?
Yeah,
Yes.
the alternate, their color rush jerseys.
Yeah, oh, man.
Yeah, like we
a
should
good
have all
idea.
that.
I like this.
Right, we should do all of that. Like maybe there should be like 4 different jets for you. Like,
Can we name 4 that have worked for the wall concept?
No, but yeah, I just think, or the other way to go is like if you appear on the show, like so you would get like Deebo Samuel. We have Jonathan Taylor, but like we've had Puka, we have Baker. Some we've got,
Sure.
right? But
Yeah.
JSN's been on the show. We interviewed
Yeah.
JSN at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right.
Ever since then, his career took off.
I know. Something really good to superstar.
Magnolia movie poster should be on the wall. Says Jonathan
actually
Medici.
really good
Great call.
That's
Jonathan
actually
Medici.
Jonathan Medici's been on fire for about 2.5 weeks.
Medici's on a hot streak right now. By the way, Mike Kafka just said Jameis Winston will start this week. Jackson Dart will continue to be in concussion protocol.
America wins.
Also, wouldn't be surprised if that's not just 1 week as well, with everything that Dart's gone through. And we say CJ Stroud may not play this week. I'm not a medical expert. Quarterbacks maybe should have 2 weeks off concussion. NFL players should maybe have 2 weeks off concussion. Your brain's moving around in your head. Maybe you need 2 weeks off.
The way it was described to me as from Stefania Bell, my friend and former colleague Stefania Bell, who's as good as there is as anyone in the industry, would always used to describe it as a concussion is like, those old snow globes, you would shake up the snow globes and all the, would be falling. Flurries are. That's what a concussion is like.
Yeah.
Like your brain is a snow globe in normal, status, and then when you have a concussion, it's like it's been, and that's what's going on there.
Yeah, I got a concussion once playing Australian football. I couldn't see properly for 2 weeks.
Hang on, you played Australian football?
Yeah. I was
you
pretty
were
good.
You were a junior magpie?
I was a junior magpie. The thing is, I'm like 6'1", 195.
Yeah.
I was 6'1", 195 when I was 16.
Okay.
And so I was bigger and stronger than everyone, and then I stopped growing, everyone caught up, and I didn't have the same advantages. And that's why I'm here.
I wish we had the huddle tape of that.
Oh, my God. That'd be the most amazing thing. Yes,
Jay just truck sticking everyone in his path.
What I wouldn't give for 16-year-old Jake Croucher Australian rules football
I'll
film.
find it. That'll be out there somewhere.
Okay.
I'll find it.
Scott McClory in the chat said, is Australian football rugby in all caps?
No, they're different games. Half of Australia plays rugby, the bad half. The good half plays Australian rules football, which is a different sport.
What's more...
The thieves. The thieves side of Australia.
What's more, they're about similar in violence levels. No helmets.
What is the one big difference between rugby and Australian rules football?
Well, in Australian rules football, you kick the ball and you can move in all directions. Rugby is basically American football with no pass game. It's not a great sport.
No.
It's not a great sport. Australian football is a great sport.
Get back on track.
Yeah, here we go.
Anyway, we're closing it out on Ken Walker, and we'll update the poll here.
What about Tony Pollard against the Texans? He's got under 8 points in 3 of his past 4 games.
Yeah, I'm also closing it out, right? He's finished higher than running back 28. Get this stat. He's finished higher than running back 28 3 times this season. Like that's the best stat you can come up with for Tony Pollard, right? Since Tajay Spears' return, he's averaging single-digit fantasy points, 9.5, basically 12 touches a game. And then you think about this matchup against Houston, Jay, where the Texans have allowed more than 77 yards from scrimmage to a running back once this season. That was Bucky Irving in week 2. So in a game in which the Texans defense doesn't give up 77 to any one running back, and now you've got 2 guys splitting the workload.
Yeah, it's an elite rush defense. The Titans, even coming off the bye against probably Davis Mills, a 7-point dog. You know how offensive it is to be a home 7-point underdog to Davis Mills? Yeah, it's not great. And that's where the Titans are at the moment.
Levels.
Yeah. I will say, at least, the Titans' offensive line is getting a little bit healthier. They've had the bye. But the thing is, it's like, as we've mentioned before, it's still the same offensive staff.
Yeah.
Like, Brian Callahan's gone. It's still the same guys who are working with Callahan.
Yeah.
The only thing is that...
Brian and his dad.
Yeah. The only thing, the hope is that O-line is healthier and rookie quarterbacks get better as the season goes on. Cam Ward, I would expect, is going to be better in the second half than he was in the first half, so maybe that can lift the offense and help the value of Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears, just probably not against the Houston Texans.
Let's go to the wide receivers, guys, where we start with Zay Flowers against the Browns. Zay has not had a game with 15-plus points since week 1, but kind of feels like the arrow might be pointing up on this one, Matthew.
Yeah, he's played 5 games this year with Lamar Jackson. He's averaging 74 yards in those 5 games. And so Zay Flowers is more of a floor play than an upside play, I feel like. But in all but 2 games this season, he's been a top 32 wide receiver. So he's a wide receiver 3 with wide receiver 2 upside if he manages to get into the end zone. But you think back week 2, when he played the Browns the first time this season, 7 for 75, had a 39% target share. So I do think Zay Flowers, I'm keeping it open. I'm as a top 20 play this week.
Wide receiver Quentin Johnston as well on our list because he's been under 50 receiving yards in 4 of his past 5 games. Jay, of course, he had the infamous goose egg a couple weeks ago. It just feels like the consistency we thought we found with him is long gone all of a sudden.
Yeah, we've taken a kind of circuitous route to get there, but ultimately, I think we are where we thought we would be coming into the season, where Ladd McConkey is the guy that you can count on, and then you're kind of playing roulette between Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, or Oronde Gadsden if he's good to go. So I don't think you can really count on QJ. It's a fairly favourable matchup against the Jags defense that I think has regressed now that the turnovers have stopped. But ultimately, I wouldn't want to count on this guy.
I get that. I'm still going to keep it open. You see it there on the screen. Ivan's wide receiver 25. So again, he's wide receiver in that 30. Yeah, in that 30. In that top 30 range, that wide receiver 3 range. But last 2 games, he's at a 26% target share, 67% of the Chargers' end zone targets. So he had a little. He was hot, and then he got quiet for a few weeks. But the last couple of weeks, he started to heat up again. Over the last 3 weeks, by the way, Keenan Allen just a 55% route participation. Feels like Oronde Gadsden's emergence has come more at the expense of Keenan Allen than it has his QJ, even though there was those 2 games there where QJ was just like, where's QJ? And to your point about the Jaguars matchup here, 7 touchdowns to wide receivers over the last 4 games. That's what the Jaguars have allowed. So they'll take some deep shots here. There's more risk-reward, more wide range of outcomes for QJ, but I'm reluctantly keeping it open on him because of the big playability.
Yep. 2 things that kind of push against each other. One, I think the Jags are last in sack rate in the NFL. Like, they just don't have the pass rush. On the other hand, the Chargers, like, their offensive line has just reached kind of the point of no return. Like, with Joe out there, there's nothing there. Herbert's fighting for his life, but should be fighting for his life less against the Jags defense that can't get pressure.
How about Xavier Worthy, Matthew? More concerning than the actual lack of production is also the lack of opportunity. He's not a big focal point of this offense anymore.
No, like since Rashee Rice returned, he's averaging 3.7 receptions and 37 receiving yards per game. So under 4 receptions and under 40 yards in all the games since Rashee Rice returned. He's wide receiver 55 on a points per game basis. And, just to give you some comparison about the usage, right? We always go to Dwayne McFarland's utilization score over at fantasylife.com. Wide receiver 54, Xavier Worthy is in utilization score since week 7, since he returned. Rice is wide receiver 11. So you just sort of see it there. You can see the splits. Weeks 4 through 6, before Rice came back, 20% target share. He's, getting 7 targets a game, double-digit fantasy points. Week 7 on, since Rice came back, under 40 yards per game, hasn't scored a touchdown, just 8 fantasy points per game, and sub 20% target share for Xavier Worthy. So I need a ruling here from you guys on this. So I am, for the purposes of our show, let me know if I'm allowed to do this. For the purposes of our show, for the audience, I am closing it out. But I'm also a liar. I'm also a big fat liar because in our league, where my team is so decimated by injuries, I'm actually going to start him.
Sure.
But I don't want to.
Our league is ridiculous.
I mean, I literally might. I just picked up Michael Wilson when the Harrison moves came out. I might start Michael Wilson over Xavier Worthy.
I'd probably do that.
Yeah. So, but that's the status my team is in. But if you had a real team that wasn't decimated by injuries, that wasn't, as brutal as my team is, I'm closing it out on Xavier Worthy.
Yeah. Jesus is a big game. I got a lot of money on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, and to win the Super Bowl, they need to make the playoffs in the first place.
I put a lot of money on this game, just for the Chiefs to win.
Yeah.
Chiefs money
Let's
line.
get it done,
Chiefs,
Mahomes.
what is it? -3, I think.
It's up to -4.
Well, okay.
If they lose,
-3.5. Yeah.
It's all like backs against the wall. Andy Reid off a bye.
Yeah.
It's just like if they lose this one, they're not the real Chiefs.
That's true.
And the Broncos are a little fraudulent.
They've gotten away with it
offensively
so many times.
Their defense is legit.
I fear the defense.
The defense is legit.
That's totally fair.
The defense is legit. The offense is a little fraudulent.
It's very fraudulent.
But yeah.
Finally, our tight end is Kyle Pitts this week against the Panthers.
The Hunter Henry of Keep It Open, Close It Out.
He really is. He's on here like, do you start him? Can I start him? Under 7 points per game over the past 2 weeks. But Matthew, this is a barren wasteland of a position that maybe you continue to ride it out with Kyle Pitts.
I have it tight end 9, so I'm keeping it open on Kyle Pitts. Hope springs eternal here, but it's a good matchup. Panthers allow the 5th most yards per game to tight ends. They've given up at least 15 fantasy points to an opposing tight end in 6 of their 10 games. So it's a great matchup against Carolina, which has struggled against the position. And since week 7, very quietly, Kyle Pitts has a 25% target share, so which is basically 3rd most among tight ends during that stretch. They are trying to get him the ball. Now, Penix has been so up and down, it hasn't always been effective. Game script hasn't always gone in Kyle Pitts' way, but they are trying to get him the ball. And we've had a lot of fun with Kyle Pitts over the years, but he has legitimately looked better this year.
Yeah, and Penix, I think, has been very inconsistent, but at least he's been inconsistent in a way now that he can actually accumulate yards and get the ball down the field in a way that the quarterback opposite him in this game, Bryce Young, hasn't been able to do.
All right, to recap, keep it open or close it out. Bo Nix is our quarterback this week, and he's a close at QB 18. Rachaad White stays open at RB 14 if Bucky Irving doesn't play. Kenneth Walker is RB 28. That's a close and possibly a new spot on his jersey spot on the wall. Tony Pollard's a close at RB 31. Zay Flowers and Quentin Johnston both stay open. Zay's in the top 20 of wide receivers. Quentin Johnston hanging on by a thread at wide receiver 25. Xavier Worthy's a close at wide receiver 37. The usage is just not there. Kyle Pitts, because he plays tight end, stays open at tight end 9. And one more reminder here. Here's our poll. Who should take the spot right above Matthew's head on the jersey wall? That is Kenneth Walker's for now, but the options are Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Baker Mayfield, and Bijan Robinson. We're going to take our first break. When we're back, it's your favorite game. It's our favorite game. Blind Date is after this.
Yeah. I think we
All right, let's take a look at the results of the poll here, guys. As once again, the options to take Kenneth Walker's spot on the wall were Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Baker Mayfield, and Bijan Robinson. Very tight voting.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford is at the top at 33.8%, which was our
I'm
urging.
surprised that Bijan, no touchdowns, Robinson was able to defeat Baker Mayfield in terms of votes. Not Bijan's fault, to be clear, but the fact is that
Baker hasn't had a great month.
Yeah, it's been tough. I mean, Mahomes at 2 makes sense. Anyway, our stage manager Kevin, where are you, Kevin? Come on over here and take care of this for us. Thank you so much.
Hey, Kevin, here he comes.
Let's go. It's Kevin. We love Kevin.
Kevin drinks free every day at the happy hour bar. He
Kevin
deals
has
with Matthew every day. So
yeah. 100%. Kevin's one of the guys that does our signs as well. Like the entire team, I never do our who drinks free signs. Like
You can't draw.
that is part of the reasons why.
You can barely speak English.
The most important thing about Kevin is a diehard Colts fan.
Yes.
He was sweating out Colts, Falcons with me, which I always appreciate.
Yeah.
As you guys were cheering for the Falcons,
Yeah.
so I hope I'd be embarrassed.
And look
For the
at
shoe.
this.
Yeah.
That was the right show. Look at that. It's a beautiful jersey.
Oh,
It's
a great
really
jersey.
good jersey.
Oh, no.
no.
Oh, Kevin's
Yeah.
melting.
Yes.
There we go.
Look at that.
Again.
Wow, that's nice.
Again, people are like, come on, Barry, you're exaggerating with the budget. No, did you see that? It's literally coat
Hanger
hangers.
on a
It's
metal railing.
It's literally coat hangers.
Nothing wrong with a good coat hanger. They're good. Good fabric. All right.
Big
Good
thanks
luck,
to Kevin, and a big thanks to the voters. Matthew Stafford now reigns supreme. Let's get into Blind Date, Matthew, where you get to host our
Host the
little game
show. There you go. Welcome into Fantasy Football Happy Hour. He's Connor Rogers, Jay Croucher. I'm Matthew Berry. All right, Blind Date. Here we go. We all go to bars to meet our blind date. So here you go. Here's number one. This is a running back. You see a split there. So first 4 weeks versus weeks 1 through 4 versus weeks 5 through 10. Basically, rushing yards 100 to 104 is basically the same. But earlier in the season, getting a lot of inside the 5-yard rushing share, whereas recently they have not. And not surprisingly, first 4 weeks, 5 touchdowns. Since week 5, only 2 touchdowns. Utilization score has also gone down since week 5. And that's why from weeks 1 through 4, this running back scored over 22 fantasy points a game, whereas recently, just 14.3 fantasy points per game.
I think this is an easy one because there's only 2 guys averaging 100-plus rushing yards, and it's Jonathan Taylor and James Cook. And Jonathan Taylor has more than 7 touchdowns, so it has to be James Cook.
It is, in fact, James Cook. Good job. Really well done. Really well done. These are too easy. But the point of this is
Layup
like
from Pete.
all the Pete probably got in your ear and told you. But what?
It's definitely a scam.
This is something I
Entire
figured out
game.
myself.
You're against the 8. It's screwed.
It's a scam.
You know what this?
Well,
this
it's
is?
not.
Yeah, this is a Chauncey Billups poker game. That's exactly what this is.
All right.
Allegedly. Comcast lawyers, put down your pens. It's alleged. It's alleged.
Comcast Legal getting a lot of activity today.
Yeah, well, that's where all the budget goes.
I got to be honest. It's where
It all comes full
1,000%.
circle.
I have to be clear that that's probably where the budget of this show goes to. Is literally that's probably Mr. Comcast probably has somebody.
Defamation lawsuits.
Yeah, it's just, they probably have a lawyer watching this show.
Matthew said it again.
Just literally watching in every word and just anyway. All right. So anyway, but just what we said in the preseason about James Cook has sort of come true. It's like he's not involved in the passing game, and he needs touchdowns to pay off. First 5 weeks of the season, he was getting them. Right. Recently, it's tailed off a little bit. Let's go to running back number 2 right here in terms of blind date. Again, weeks 1 through 6 versus 7 through 10. Rushing yards per game have increased a little bit recently since week 7 as well, but a lot more work inside the goal line. 100% of the inside 5-yard line rush share since week 7, whereas it was just half of the time, weeks 1 through 6. Utilization score is the same. Fantasy points per game has gone up, entirely buoyed by the 4 touchdowns.
I'm sorry, what?
Buoyed.
Buoyed? Oh, my
Buoyed?
goodness.
Buoyed.
And you're criticizing me for Magnolia when you're saying buoyed.
English is my second language. Everyone knows this.
Buoyed.
Yeah, it's just me. With me, it's a language issue. With you, it's just bad taste.
I've heard buoyed before. I've heard buoyed. I've never heard buoyed.
Anyway, whatever. At any rate, who's this running back?
Is it Breece Hall?
It is, in fact, Breece Hall, Connor. I'd be upset if you did not get this one. It's just obviously part of it's the Braylon Allen injury as well, but also just they've used it. For what? We can do
Blind
one more
date's
blind
over.
date.
Sure. No.
Come on, Pete.
Up to you.
30 seconds.
Go ahead. 30 seconds. We got 30 seconds. Go ahead. Come on. Come on, Pete. Go. Quickly. Who do you think this is? Blind date. Targets up. Receiving yards per game. All since week 6-10. Receiving touchdowns up.
I was going to guess Jalen Waddle.
No.
Marvin Harrison?
No. It is Troy Franklin. Oh, no, it's Ladd McConkey. Troy Franklin was going to be the next one. Sorry, it's Ladd McConkey. Yeah, it's Ladd McConkey, who's just basically...
It's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster.
The last couple of weeks, Ladd McConkey has become who we thought he was. Ladd McConkey. The next one was going to be Troy Franklin, whose usage has increed.
Yes.
There we go.
You sunk the segment with your buoyed comment.
You give me great job security hosting this show. It's really lovely. We're going to go to our last break when we're back to
I'm
the
sorry,
futures.
America. I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
Back to the futures.
Oh, my God.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code FFHH when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook.
The crown is yours.
Back to the futures, Jay. What do you got?
Seahawks to win the NFC West, plus 130. Matthew Stafford hasn't had to play an elite defense since week 1. I think the Seahawks have the best defense in football.
I'm going to piggyback on that and say Mike Macdonald. Sorry, not McDaniel. Mike Macdonald to win Coach of the Year plus 350. If they do what Jay says, Macdonald's going to win the award. He's got the third highest odds.
Giants next head coach. I'm taking Jesse Minter plus 1,200. I think they're going to go with a defensive guy as long as he's got the right pairing at offensive coordinator.
I saw people talking about Mike McCarthy. As a Commanders fan, I'm hoping for Mike McCarthy.
Oh, man. He's the leader on the odds board.
I know he is.
The shortest odds.
Antonio Pierce chat as well.
I mean, stop.
Come on. He's a legend. That music means you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Go boyo something elsewhere for Jay and Connor and Matthew. We'll see you tomorrow, maybe. Peace out. I'm sorry, America.